So today has been full of buzz and excitement because earlier today, Vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris announced that her VP running mate will be Governor Tim Walz. And if you are at all like me, you're like, who is Governor Tim Walz? I'm sorry to say that before today, I had not heard the name Tim Walz, but I have seen Tim Walz out there in those political streets. This is Governor Tim Walz. He is the governor of Minnesota. And after today, I've seen so many clips of this man. And I'm like, I know that man. I love this man. Listen, I fell in love with this man maybe 2 weeks ago. This man went on to Fox News and he owned them. We're going to get to that. But here's some facts that I found out about Governor Tim Walz. I just did a brief research. I just put on over in the Google machine Tim Walz accomplishments, and this list came back. So some brief personal information about him. He is a husband and he's a father of 2 kids. He served in the Army National Guard for 24 years, and he is a former high school teacher. As a matter of fact, that's how he and his wife, I believe his wife's name is Gwen, that's how they met, teaching high school. He is also a supporter of the Second Amendment. For whatever the reason is, the nuts on the right believe that people on the left don't support the Second Amendment. We do support the Second Amendment. We are pew-pew owners, but we also support sensible legislation surrounding ownership. Here's some of the things that he has done since he's been governor of Minnesota. He's also lowered insulin costs to $35. Remember, the federal government did that on a federal scale. He then followed suit and did it on the state level. Remember those junk fees that the federal government also eliminated at the federal level? He then followed suit and eliminated those same junk fees on the state level. He also signed into law paid leave for parents who needed to take time off, not just parents, but people who needed to take time off in general to take care of their families. When Roe versus Wade was overturned on the federal level by Donald Trump's Supreme Court, he then moved to codify abortion rights for women in the state of Minnesota. He's also provided additional funding for police departments all across the state. He put more cops out on the streets. He invested in more body cameras for police officers, and he established universal background checks. Very important. That goes hand in hand with sensible pew-pew legislation. But remember, Joe Biden was able to pass pew-pew legislation on the federal level, and I suspect he then followed suit and made that on a state level as well. When Joe Biden passed the infrastructure bill on the federal level, he then got to work and worked with Democrats and Republicans to pass a bipartisan infrastructure package at the state level. So this man has been busy. You can tell that when you have leadership at the top that's doing wonderful things, then that can trickle down to the state level. He took advantage of everything that Joe Biden was able to do at the federal level, and he got it done for his constituents at the state level. Now remember, at the beginning of the video, I told you I didn't know this man by name, but I have seen this man out there in the political streets, and he has been he's been whipping Republicans up for the past, I don't know how long. Here's some of the recent clips that I found of Governor Tim Walz.
What I know is that people like J.D. Vance know nothing about small town America. My town had 400 people in it, 24 kids in my graduating class, 12 were cousins, and he gets it all wrong. It's not about hate. It's not about collapsing in. The golden rule there is mind your own damn business. Their policies are what destroyed rural America. They've divided us. They're in our exam rooms. They're telling us what books to read. And I think what Kamala Harris knows is bringing people together around the shared values, strong public schools, strong labor unions that create the middle class, healthcare that's affordable and accessible. Those are the things. You look what they're talking about. They went right to division. They did not give us a plan on healthcare. Donald Trump talked about infrastructure. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris built bridges, built roads. So I think this is going back to the bread and butter, getting away from this division. We do not like what has happened where we can't even go to Thanksgiving dinner with our uncle because you end up in some weird fight that is unnecessary. And I think bringing back people together, well, it's true. These guys are just weird. And it's, you know, they're running for He-Man Women Haters Club or something. That's what they go at. That's not what people are interested in. And there is angst because robber barons like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump gutted the Midwest, told us we didn't do that. They talk about private schools. Where in the heck are you going to find a private school in a town of 400? Those are public schools. Those are great teachers that are out there making a difference and gave us an opportunity to succeed. That angst that J.D. Vance talks about in Hillbilly Elegy, none of my hillbilly cousins went to Yale, and none of them went on to be venture capitalists or whatever. It's not who people really are. So I think that message doesn't resonate. You saw it yesterday. The energy out here exploded. We all broke fundraising records, but that's not what I look at. Door knocks are full. Phone banks are full. People are talking about what's possible. We are finally on offense about an America where we're all together. So good. Have Orban down to Florida. The vice president will come out here and stand in a Planned Parenthood. She stands in a Planned Parenthood clinic in St. Paul. That's what people want to see. These guys are just weird. That's who they are. So it isn't much else. Don't give them the power. Look, are they a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes. They're going to do all that. But don't lift these guys up like they're sometimes the heroes. Everybody in this room knows, I know it as a teacher, a bully has no self-confidence. A bully has no strength. They have nothing. The fascists depend on fear. The fascists depend on us going back. But we're not afraid of weird people. No. We're a little bit creeped out, but we're not afraid. But look, and then as you heard this, and one day ago, a poll came out and showed Kamala Harris up 10 points and Donald Trump getting his ass handed to him here in Minnesota. So, sorry. But he's here today in the state of hockey to complete his trifecta. He lost in 16, he lost in 20, he loses in 24.
Now this is my favorite clip. This is when he went on to Fox News and he owned them.
There's an irony to saying that Donald Trump is bad for democracy when it looks pretty obvious that the Democratic Party leapfrogged the entire democratic system, and they did it in about 24 hours publicly.
Look, the process has always been there. I welcome, if Sean or anybody wants to become a DNC delegate, you're welcome to. But what I know is Democrats are ready to move when the situation warrants it. Look, it doesn't matter convictions. It doesn't matter failed policies. Republican Party stuck with Donald Trump. He's yours. You've got him. Welcome to it. Democratic Party can make our decisions. We pick our nominee. Look, if you don't like it, don't vote for it in November. But I think the American public are going to see. They knew that this administration was delivering. We knew that as far as economic numbers placed against global numbers, America's in a far better shape. And we also know that a foreign policy that respects our alliances, not cozying up to dictators like Putin and Orban, is not the way to go.
How about this one, Governor?
J.D. Vance, mind your own business is what I would tell them.
Why doesn't...
Baby, he said, if you want to become a Democratic delegate to be a part of the selection process, then have at it. Then he said, mind your own damn business. And then he said, if you don't like it, don't vote for it. Those people weren't going to vote for Kamala Harris anyway. Baby, he owned them. She made a wonderful choice, because I was nervous with that Josh Shapiro, but Kamala Harris, she's got her finger on the temperature. She's paying attention to the constituents of the United States, and she made the best choice. I'm excited.